At this point, we're just hoping and, really wanting her to actually start dilating, because so far she hadn't.
Like cervical softeners, I had a cervical balloon, I had Pitocin for more than 24 hours at this point. Third one, right before we left to go to the hospital, was 172 over 109. That's what my blood pressure was, folks.
Riveting. Monster hunters.
So excuse me if I'm a little awkward. I need some water. Servant, please. Hi. I know it's been quite a long time. I ended up having a baby. Really unexpectedly. A little early. We're here to talk about that. I'm going to organize my makeup while I do that. So that's why I'm in this position.
Where are you?
I'm in my closet. Oh,
we don't know this place.
Tons of things have changed in my surroundings. I have moved. We have moved into a new house as of recently. I've tried to make this video before. I didn't like it, so I deleted it. I had a time. Is that what we could say? What would you call these events that occurred this day?
An experience.
How did you feel about it?
I mean, pretty lit. It was long. It was exhausting.
Yes.
A little scary.
Boop, boop, boop. So on July 16th is when everything got turned upside down, so to say. I had my first midwife appointment because there's a big spider on the floor, oh my god! No, I don't want to kill him.
What do?
Get a cup.
Enjoy the Taco Bell. You missed. You completely missed.
Bro.
This is riveting content.
Did I get him? Did I get him?
No, I don't think we did.
I did! I have him.
Riveting. Monster hunters.
Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, on July 16th, everything got turned upside. So I had my first midwife's appointment, because I wanted my mom to be at the birth with me, and at my current hospital, because of COVID and all that stuff, she wasn't going to be able to. Now that
wasn't inside of me.
Jeez. Everything was beautiful. Hadn't had any problems. The whole pregnancy. Never had any problems. Like, my blood pressure was always normal. And then we go to this midwife appointment. It's like a 2-hour appointment because it's the first appointment. Everything went amazing. Everything went great. It was a good time. We wore masks and stuff because, COVID. She almost forgot to check my blood pressure before we left, and then she did, and it was really high. And so then she started talking to me about all these options and all these things I could do. She was like, you need to call your doctor, and it was apparently really high that she took it again. She was kind of like, hospital? It was even higher. I don't remember what the first and the second one were, but the third one, right before we left to go to the hospital, was 172 over 109. That's what my blood pressure was, folks. Woo! I'm still alive here today. I didn't have a stroke. I didn't have a stroke. I think that's really good. We went to McDonald's first because I was starving before we went to the hospital, so that's even better. We went to a different hospital than my OB because of what my supposed to be midwife said, was that at the certain hospital they were still allowing doulas to be there with COVID, and my mom could be a doula. Let's talk about his side of the story at the midwife appointment.
Midwife appointment was fantastic. They were beautiful people. It sounded like, they actually really cared for the baby as well as the girl right there. But it felt like a dream when everything started hitting the fan. I felt like we were just gonna go get in the car and just go home. But yeah, we went to the hospital instead.
Dun, dun, dun.
We go over to this hospital and we get on in there. They check her blood pressure. They get her all checked out, you know. They tell us pretty much that, like, you're getting admitted and you're not leaving until you have this baby.
Scary stuff, let me tell you what. They were putting the IV in my arm. They were making me sign all the papers as they were already checking my blood pressure. It was super high. It wasn't going on. And said it wasn't going down.
Yes, ma'am.
They hooked me up to magnesium and
saline.
They gave me saline and magnesium. And oh my god, let me tell you how much I hated stroking IV. I wanted to punch everyone in the face when I took a shower one of the days I was there because it was so uncomfortable because it was bent backwards and I hated it and I hate the IVs and that was the worst part for me. End of story, goodbye. Then it's like kind of sets in that it's getting real, you know, at that point. They're starting to talk about steroid shots to give me in my left hip, which I pretty much get in 30 minutes of getting there for Sebastian's lungs. So we were there for 2 days first before anything happened to wait for those steroid shots because you have to get the shot, wait 24 hours, get the other shot, and then wait 24 hours. And then it's safe, it's a-okay, it's good to go since I was 36 weeks and 4 days when I got admitted.
Like after the steroid shots, they were talking about inducing, you know, getting it on the road, you know.
Yeah, I know. And that was really scary.
That was because, you know, her blood pressure was not coming down. It was staying up.
Yeah, I have been on magnesium for 2 days already after the steroid shots. And the only time it would ever go down to normal levels was when I was dead asleep, and that was only for those 2 days. And after that, it stayed high so many times for some reason. I was having blood pressure medicine. I was having so many things. I was getting potassium drinks that were really gross, but I literally had to take like 8 or 9 of them, and because my potassium was low, I was getting my blood drawn every 3 to 4 hours, so I wasn't getting sleep for more than 3 to 4 hours. The beds became so uncomfortable. The next 24 hours on that Saturday after my second shot, they started talking about inducing me or whatever. 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, I get a cervical balloon. She comes in with a whole group of nurses, this little thingy, rolly thingy, and she's ready to stick the balloon in me, and I'm just like...
You're telling them the story. It is absolutely hilarious, you know.
This is what like my mind process was, and I was so high out of my mind because of magnesium. It doesn't make you like high, but it makes you tired, so it's like that tired high, like that I'm exhausted high, you know. The cervical balloon, honestly, is the only thing I wish I could change because it didn't do anything for me. I didn't need it because I ended up having a C-section and it was terrible. It was an awful experience. I had it in me for 36 hours before it fell out. The purpose of it is to help you dilate. They put a balloon on the inside of your cervix and on the outside, and they're both inflated with water. And she had trouble getting it in. And my mom was holding my hand. It was the most uncomfortable, most painful thing. It was terrible. Like, it was really bad.
That I slept through, by the way.
Yeah, he slept through.
No shame.
No shame
But
in
I
his
slept
game.
through it. Let me tell you something about this balloon when this bad boy came on out. Their little sizing chart of like, you know, how big she should be at like centimeter wise. This bad boy was a good 6 centimeters big when it's only supposed to be at 4. And so, you know, you would assume then that your girl right here is 6 centimeters dilated, and we are ready to, you know, really get the show on the road for this birth.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you how excited
we were so excited.
We were super pumped because I was honestly, there were stages of like misery, and then there were stages of like up because I would get myself out of that because it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable to sit. It was so just uncomfortable to be.
And like she
And
had to
pee
keep,
and
she had to keep
poo.
that when she peed, went to the bathroom and everything.
TMI, but like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness. I got the cervical balloon on Friday, and it was in
A full 36 hours.
A full 36 hours until Sunday. It was 36 hours of waiting. So on that Monday at 8 a.m. I finally got Pitocin. Man, I was pumped. Let me tell you, I might as well have just won a whole football game by myself. That's it. I'm the team. I'm the whole team. They gave me my Pitocin, right? And I had had pain medicine from when they had given me the balloon initially because it had started a lot of contractions. And they were really painful, and so they gave me a shot of pain medicine in my IV. And I never felt any of my contractions after that. I am serious. Literally none of them. And at one point they had to turn my Pitocin down because my contractions were too close together and too strong. And I felt nothing. My doctor even came in and made the joke one time, like, you know they call this labor, right? And my body was just like, she don't need to feel this. She don't have a C-section anyways.
She was just sitting there standing up, just walking around when the doctor came in.
And I see this as a big win for me because I ended up having a C-section anyways. So I kind of went through all that for nothing. But it was a growing experience. I wouldn't change it for the world. It was beautiful. Love it. What's your side of the story up until the point of me getting Pitocin?
I think you got too much dip in your chip on the floor.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on.
It's fixed. It's fixed. I swear to God. I did it.
After you got the balloons in, it really started the whole like process of me really realizing that like this real. I'm having to like really help her out of bed, help her walk to the bathroom, really help her. We just had like the baby shower kind of before
A week before happened.
this. And like her mom flew down to surprise her. Flew out the next day after staying with us for a day. Next week we're in the hospital about to have this child. And of course, you know, why would grandma not be there? So her mom shows up, flies back in.
With my brother.
Yeah, with
But
her
he
brother,
couldn't
but-
be in the hospital.
Yeah, of course, you know, due to COVID. I'm glad I was able to be there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, a lot of people are missing births of their children, and that sucks. At this point, you know, we're all just kind of chilling, waiting, helping her through this. Just the amount of like anxious waiting, just days of like, yeah, are we gonna have this baby today? You know.
Yeah.
Like,
We kept putting bets on when he
Yeah.
was gonna be born because my brother's birthday was on the 20th, and Sebastian was born on the 21st. So everyone thought he was gonna be born on the 20th. But in my family, we have a lot of people who are born on 2 days next to each other. So it's fitting. It's Monday. 8 a.m. have got my Pitocin. We're gonna continue on from there. Can't feel any of my contractions. Everything's going, everything's cruising. I'm staying at a fort the whole entire day. Literally pretty much nothing happens except a whole nother day of waiting. A whole nother day of like anxious, excited, just like, are we gonna have this baby today or not? That's literally all that Monday was until Tuesday.
I'm gonna stop her here. I apologize to you guys for how she's telling this. She is not dramatic enough for this, for this part. Okay, you go too quick. You're going too fast.
See, this is why you have to sit here and monitor me.
Exactly. Let's go back to Tuesday. At this point, she had gotten checked in the morning, around that time, and they didn't want to check her too much because you know it causes.
Broke my water.
Yeah, it causes bleeding.
I forgot about that. I was getting ahead of myself. But yeah, at Tuesday at 10 a.m. they broke my water
And checked your.
and checked my dilation. Things weren't really moving along, and I had Cytotec for like cervical softeners. You know, I had had the cervical balloon. I had had Pitocin for more than 24 hours at this point. It had been already 5 days in the hospital in total.
They were at a standstill.
We were like, well, okay. So the next few hours were just a lot more anxious and excited waiting. Just, when is our baby gonna be born?
At this point, we're just hoping and, you know, really wanting her to actually start dilating. because so far she hadn't. Just
We
waiting
were
on
really
that.
talking to baby boy. We were really honestly praying, manifesting, hoping, putting it out there, trying to receive help to get him out. But he was not ready to come out on his own. He sadly was like, nah bro, I'm not doing it.
But then around like 4 to 5, the nurse comes in. You know, tells her that she doesn't really want to check, but she's pretty positive that, you know, she's still not really dilated. And we really need to start to think about the big ol' word. The big ol'...